think Adam's right on brand. I'm happy to have the help. Sounds like Adam is going to hit the ground running, and he really cares deeply about the things that matter to you and to me, like civil liberties. Our new Calgary reporter, Adam Soos.
It has been our distinct privilege throughout this past year to bring you the other side of the story. Very often we are the only media outlet there to present these important stories. Other times when other media outlets are present, they simply twist them. Fortunately, we count on you, our supporters, to tell the news. We don't get government handouts, and so we're not beholden to anyone. And so, as Ezra Levant always says, we can follow the facts wherever they lead us. So as the year comes to an end, I wanted to look back on some of the stories that influenced us most throughout the year. Adam Soos here for Rebel News, and when we started at Rebel News, we had the privilege of jumping straight into the deep end. Mere weeks after I started, Pastor Artur Pawlowski was arrested for daring to open his church throughout COVID-19. We launched SaveArtur.com and supported and covered Pastor Artur Pawlowski through his trials and tribulations as they garnered international news and headlines.
Police had to send an officer to a church this Easter weekend where the leader of the gathering reportedly shouted at the health inspector.
Out of this property immediately until you come back with a warrant. Out! Out! Out!
Well, as you know, we escaped communism. We came to Canada for one purpose, not for bread, but for freedom. We were promised that we will get that freedom, that we will not be hunted down like common criminals just because we are Christians.
We just received confirmation that after leaving worship today, Pastor Artur Pawlowski was pulled over on his way home and arrested. A pastor in Alberta for the second time has been arrested simply for preaching.
Both of us under arrest. Whoa, stop.
No, I did not style!
Wow. Well, here's what happened after the video. I was thrown like a piece of meat behind the police vehicle.
What I know about lions, they can put up with a lot. But you keep poking at us and we'll stop poking back.
Hope that your tomorrow can look different than today. That's like gospel for me. That's what I do all my life. I'm just giving them hope. Your yesterday is terrible. Your today is unbearable. But your tomorrow can be totally different than today because there is hope. God is hope.
Pastor Artur Pawlowski.
Amen.
Pastor Artur Pawlowski was not the only man of God in Alberta to garner the ire of officials in this province. Despite his calm and collected demeanor, Pastor Tim Stevens also suffered persecution at the hands of government authorities. One moment that will always stick with me was the first time I met Pastor Tim Stevens' wife, Raquel. Before I even knew who she was, she came out, looked me in the eye, and said, "Thank you for not twisting our story." That moment will form in me forever a journalistic integrity to present the facts as we find them.
I just got off the line with our videographer K2, who was on this scene, and he told me it was the hardest thing he has ever seen. The family of Pastor Tim Stevens was weeping as he was hauled away in cuffs like some common criminal.
Pastor Tim was once again taken into custody. Numerous police vehicles arrived and put
him in a car, taking him away from his families. It was an extremely emotional and harrowing ordeal, and we were there to capture it as it happened. I'm going to let you go now to the footage of his arrest.
You guys lift up dogs, just not to survive.
One of the other fun things we do that helps get the message out to people who might otherwise be able to ignore it if they just listen to mainstream media is our billboard trucks. For our ShameOnChandro.com campaign, our NoClimateEmergency.com campaign, and our FightVaccinePassports.com campaign, we rolled a large, bright billboard truck that was playing videos through the streets of Calgary. One of the favorite moments that we featured on that video was when I rolled up with the Shame on Chandro truck to the United Conservative Party AGM Stampede Breakfast downtown. I asked Jason Kenney if vaccine passports would be brought into Alberta. He said no, and that response aged like milk, as we well know. So we took his response and put it on yet another billboard truck to remind everybody that on COVID-19, Jason Kenney simply can't be trusted. If you guys are worried about climate change, this bad boy's not the truck for you. This is a Chevy with a 6.0 liter Vortec engine. This puts out more emissions than anything Volkswagen could ever imagine. Overbearing COVID restrictions, ever-moving goalposts, and pastor arrests left Albertans feeling unsettled. Well, they took to the streets week after week to have their voices heard and to stand for freedom. Lunchtime in Calgary, and many of these businesses would normally be bustling with patrons, but unfortunately, because of the vaccine passport, we have seen business dwindle to virtually nothing. These places are absolutely empty. Meanwhile, just mere meters away on the street is a large crowd of people having a picnic.
Well, start by saying thank you for boycotting a place you're not allowed to go to because we didn't want you anyway. The actual thing about this is that most people, the vast majority of people, actually say, you know what, I'm more likely to go to a restaurant if I know the person at the table next to me is vaccinated. And so I'm encouraging everyone who is vaccinated, now you can feel a little bit safer. Now you should feel like you can support these local businesses. And frankly, if there's going to be less drunken, Yahoo, belligerent people yelling at you about conspiracy theories, it'll be even a nicer night out, won't it?
During the height of the arson and vandalism against churches in this country, we had an opportunity to go out to Tsuut'ina Nation land, where Ruby Starlight showed us her grandfather's church. She was proud of her Christian heritage and the Christian heritage of her family, and she lamented that the church was not in the condition it used to be in. Well, we knew that with our generous viewers and supporters, we could help them, and we were able to repair their church.
It's been really something. This church has had its days, and it's showing. I'm now seeing it. I even haven't been here for a while myself, but it's really showing. And it would be nice one day to see what small stuff we can do to maintain a face again for my grandpa's church.
As we've kind of seen, there's a bit of damage, there's some leaks. What would it mean to you and the community for us to take care of the roof and get everything back into working order?
Oh, it would be so great. It would be just awesome. We never had the money to renovate it or to fix it up, so we just try and keep it the best way we can.
So I'm here with Chief Roy Whitney, One Spot. You are the chief out here on the Tsuut'ina land.
I'm really pleased to hear that this is an initiative that will help the community repair the church. Thank you very much for the opportunity to discuss this with Rebel News.
With the help of our passionate and principled viewers at Rebel News, we are going to crowdfund a new roof for this church building. While radicals and progressives out there are attacking places of worship, we're going to do our very best to support those places of worship. If you want to help, go to repairthechurch.com. I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to extend my gratitude to my cameraman, videographer, editor extraordinaire K2. Whether it comes to sleeping on church floors or eating gator tail, he is willing to do whatever it takes to get these stories out to you. His artistry and production quality has garnered responses even from Calgary Police Force members saying that our production quality was skyrocketing. So to K2, thank you so much for everything you've done. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank you, the viewer, for supporting us and making what we do possible. I'm looking forward to everything that we're going to do in the coming years, bringing you the other side of the story. I hope you had a very blessed Christmas. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you in the new year. For Rebel News, I'm Adam Soos.